And okay, that's live. So this is something new that I'm gonna do because I'm already doing the Chimps podcast, which has like a handful of episodes. But like this is just gonna be like the unfiltered gentleman's podcast where there's no real goal or nothing's being achieved. You're just kind of chatting shit. It's basically Chimps, but not Chimps.
Exactly.
Yes. However, this one is more off the walls, kind of. This one's more bespoke. It's more esteemed because it has like a better title.
Words.
Yeah, I'm kind of autistic, but you were saying something about before we started recording the new Space Jam movie that I haven't caught yet. What did you see it?
Yeah, I've seen clips of it.
Oh, you've only seen? Yeah, you haven't actually seen the movie.
No, I know the rundown of it.
Oh.
There's one good joke in
Okay.
the entire thing, and it's Sylvester goes and he's like, "I found Michael Jordan," and then like Michael B. Jordan walks in.
Jesus Christ.
That's the highlight of the film.
I seen the clips and it's kind of like the original one became such a cult thing because it was kind of shitty, but like it got a cult following. No, it's not. It's not that it was shitty, and I definitively think that Looney Tunes Back in Action was a much better film. Space Jam
got 3 Oscars.
Did it? Fuck off.
Yeah.
For what?
Nothing, but I deserve one now considering I convinced you.
Yeah, you got me. I like you could have convinced me, or you could have properly gaslit me that it won like best original score or something, or like best special effects.
I was going to say best lead actor. I was like, that's not. It's either Michael Jordan or Bugs Bunny, and I don't think either of those are the answers.
Was it Michael Jordan that was in the first one? I couldn't remember today when I was thinking about
Michael
it.
Jordan was the first place, John.
Oh, okay. I just remember like when all of the smaller, like the bad guys took the serum and they became the Monstars.
Yeah.
I used to play basketball with my housemates a few years ago, and a group of us would go down to the court and whatever, we'd split into 2 teams. But one team would always be the Monstars. It was like the longest running gag that we had in this house. But
you're just like a bunch of autistic aliens, though.
Basically, yeah, and
the basketball is the extra chromosome.
Yeah, and but they had conceptualized.
You may not include my name in this podcast, by the way.
No, I don't think I will.
I'll end up getting cancelled or something.
Don't know what.
Like 3 years down the line, I'll find some semblance of success, and they'll be like, "This fucker,
this fucking guy hopped on a podcast, and he talked about Space Jam, and it's not okay."
I will reveal this much. My second name is Dylan.
So that's for future. So you're pre-establishing an alibi.
Yeah. No. My second name is Dylan.
Yeah. So
DILLON
for
that.
To whom it may concern.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was setting everything up, and I prepared myself a huge bowl of wings, and it was a 1 kg bag of wings that I bought in Aldi for £3, and yeah, I ate them all in about 10 minutes, and now I just have nothing.
This is just us recording, just a regular conversation.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I think sometimes we tap into something that's interesting enough that other people.
Yeah, we're just waiting. It's like Love Island or something where they record an hour out of a week and then just cut it down.
Well, yeah, but sometimes we tap into something that's so good that we're
It's like finding pieces of corn in chunks of shit. It's not good, but I mean, it's marginally better.
But there's moments where we'll hit something and it'll be gold, and then we'll be like, damn, like.
Oh, it's corn, Liam. I just told you.
I bet you could convince, I bet you could convince the Spanish that there's gold nuggets and shit. Probably. Yeah.
Why?
Because if you tell those people there's gold on the moon, they're pointing their ships to the sky.
You can't even convince them to take a vaccine.
Jesus, yeah, I'm like.
Is the other one coming?
Yeah, he is, and I'm set to get my vaccine early next month, I think, because our local pharmacy is just they have a supply to give, and they're giving it to like all the workers around Phibsborough. But one of the girls in the thing smashed 2 vials, meaning they lost a lot of jabs. And it was very frustrating, and a lot of people were mad.
Which like the thing doesn't, or like the jab, it's only like 70% effective against the Delta variant anyway.
Yeah.
It sounds like a South Park episode where like, yeah, it's not actually effective at all. We're just saying it is. They could have just used anything in those vials just to replace them, just because of that dumb bitch.
Gatorade.
And it starts, it's like things, it's like, oh, it's water, it looks like something. And then as the episode goes on, it gets more and more hyperbolic, and they're like, oh, what's this? Oh, it's the vaccine. It's like, why does it smell like Nutella? It's like, it just gets more and more.
It's blue.
More and more decrepit and depraved.
It's blue Gatorade.
Yeah, it's blue. Blue Gatorade, you might think it's some sort of vaccine.
Oh, it's like a vaccine.
It's a liquid cement. So it's not even in a needle. It's in like a turkey baster or something. Just rip their arm up with a scalpel.
Yeah, like it's in like one of those, those things you get when you're putting insulation on your windows. You get like one of those, and they just put a point at the end of it, and they like. Well, you know those things. It's like a long tube, and it has like a point at the end and a trigger, and you can spray.
A silicone gun.
Yeah, something like that. Oh, what if they just what if they panic and there's like no vaccine, and the only thing they have lying around is one of those hot glue guns that you put a stick in the back of. They just they just put a hole in your arm.
Just give someone a hot glue.
Yeah, you get hot glue inserted to you. They're like, yeah, that's how the vaccine's supposed to feel.
So eventually, it like combines with their blood, and then over the course of about 20 minutes, their entire circulation system just starts to slow down and eventually harden, and they die.
Well, yes, but that's like how. Yes, that's how like statues are made in Bulgaria.
What
I don't know.
What are some of the questions or some of the topics we can
get into one.
Yeah, give us a taster.
Okay, so I don't know. I was writing down my thoughts as they came to me today, and one that was like classic, like an instant classic. I was working in the shop. I work in like retail, and there's a lot of regulars. But the shop happens to be really close to the loony bin in Phibsborough, so you get a lot of the legit crazies come in. And there's one woman who like just completely cut the queue, or just talk to you, like she'll talk out loud the whole time she's in the shop or something, and like you don't really, like after a while you don't really listen to her. She just kind of does.
On the podcast.
Yeah, that'd be no. She kind of just repeats the same thing. It'd be like a 4-minute clip. But you don't really pay attention, and we weren't, and we were just actually talking, but we were aware that she was like right beside the registers, and she was like leaning over the ice cream machine, like the ones where you slide the door and you just reach down and grab an ice cream. Yeah, we weren't even paying attention. Yeah, we weren't ice cream freezer. Yeah, we weren't even paying attention, and we just hear really loud. We just hear this woman go, I nearly fell into your freezer. And we were just like, what the fuck? And then we looked over and she like nearly pushed the whole thing over because she nearly fell into it trying to get a loop-de-loop. That was one of them anyway. I wrote down a lot of just... You know what? I wrote...
Story.
Well, yeah, it was kind of anticlimactic, but I just thought that the way this just goes, I nearly fell into your fridge was kind of funny.
I know it was going to be like you fell into the fridge and you were getting the the cash register involved and shit. I was like, what is she going to do?
No. Actually, I did have this dude. I'm like kind of used to telling like knackers and junkies to kind of fuck off, or they're not allowed in, or getting confrontational with them. But there was this dude, and it was like 8 p.m. and he tries to walk into the shop he's only wearing a pair of shorts, and he's like covered in what looks like paint or concrete, like concrete stains or something like that, like wet concrete. He's covered in this shit, and he's like has an open 2-liter bottle of milk that he's drinking from, and he's like no mask, no shirt, he's wearing pants, and for whatever reason I have like a spurg out, and the first thing I say is, oh, you can't come into the shop with that open milk. And then my coworker looks at me and she's like, he's not wearing a mask, shoes, or a shirt, and you're telling him we can't come in because of the milk. But when I said this to this dude who looks completely like off his nut, he looks at me and he goes, oh, it's a shit shop anyway, and he just walks away. It's like, I can't believe he got me in my own turf. He just completely cooked me.
Well, you weren't technically wrong about the milk, though. You can't be in there with that.
No, not at all. Like, you can't really be in there. It happens a lot, and a lot of people bring in takeaway pints when they're coming home from the pub, and they're not allowed in.
They're absolute crime.
Yeah, and one of them came in, and I immediately was like, get out, you cannot be in here with two open plastic pint things, because he's drunk and he's obviously going to spill it, and then he just starts singing, and the more I yell, the louder he sings. So I have like this 30-second thing where I'm yelling louder and louder, and he's just singing louder and louder, and then he starts singing the Only Fools and Horses theme song and walks out the door. It's really crazy, but I'm like used to it now because it's every day.
You'd have to be pretty fucked up to go to the pub just to take with him.
Yeah, and he had two. He had two in one full pint in each hand, and he was already wasted.
If you're dumb enough to get it, you deserve have to waste your money on that.
But like, he came in. He didn't even want anything. He just came in and started singing.
Yeah, he just wanted to sing to you. And you told him to get the fuck out. He made that second pint was for you.
Oh no! I would feel really bad if like maybe. What if you wanted to give it to me? Like what if you're right? And I just did that to him.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, oh, did my friend run by with the present? And he was like, what? Like, oh, the unicorn milk, just so you could sell it for like tons of money. And you were like, no, I threw him out because he's in the mask.
Well, however, I have not completely lost faith in the decadence of Fibsborough, because a dude came in and I was just chatting to him at the register, and he's looking for a Freddo bar, and we don't sell those. Yeah, he was looking for a Freddo, and we don't sell Freddos.
Why?
I don't know. I don't think they're hard to find. I think most shops still sell them. But the thing was that we were talking about how they used to be 25p and now they're 45. And we were like, oh yeah, whatever, let's see you later. He didn't get his Freddo bar, and it was kind of sad. And like about 10 minutes later, this guy comes back into the shop, and from the door, he like baseball bat swings a Freddo at me. And like hit my head, but I caught it. And he kind of shot me a wink. And this like random stranger bought me a Freddo bar, and it was like the nicest thing a person's ever done for me.
Yes, alright.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Finally.
I'm just expecting like choir music and that. Both of you to start groveling.
Well, we started about 10 minutes ago, but we didn't really cover anything outside of the new Space Jam and, some Necker stories. Huh? Well, yeah, we were, we've started, and this is the Unfiltered podcast. It's a bit different from it's a bit different from Chimps, not at all really. It's the same thing. It's just got a different fancy title. But now that you're here,
why fix what's not broken?
This could maybe double. This could maybe double as Chimps 5. Fuck it, it's Chimps 5, boys. This is it. We're back.
Is there 5 of those?
There's 4 more.
Yeah, what happened to like 3 and 4?
Yeah.
We made Chimps 3 and 4.
Did we?
Yeah. The one about Sentinel Island.
This is Unfiltered. Those are the unreleased podcasts.
So it's...
They are the filtered podcast. They're so filtered that they don't even use it.
So this is the Chimps... this is Chimps Unfiltered.
This is Chimps Concentrated. That's what this is.
Chimps Concentrated, I like that. Chimps Concentration Camp. Yeah, so this is Chimps Unfiltered Concentrated.
This is the Chimps Snyder Cut.
Yes, exactly. This is bigger, longer, and uncut.
Yeah.
But now
the original Chimps podcast were like if you took the Chimps, like if you got like a Chimps podcast CD, took out the paper of the cover, and just started licking it until it's just mush. This is the real Chimps podcast.
Yeah, this is for the hardcore.
Final edition.
Yeah, this is for the hardcore Chimp fans.
This is the extended commentary track.
Yes, it's for the hardcore Chimp fans who've like followed us for whenever, like every 8 months when an episode comes out.
All 3 of them.
Yeah, 4, I think. Maybe not. Okay, maybe this is.
Just our own fucking podcast.
Yeah. Like we're you have to be your own biggest fan. But the first topic that I feel we can all have a crack at is like one. I've seen it on YouTube a lot, but I've only ever watched these videos by myself, so I've never like had to discuss it. But it's always like been in my head where it's the like brand mascots that you can either beat or not beat in a fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
is there a list?
Is there a what?
Is there a list?
Yeah, I can pull it up now. But like right off the bat, you think of like the iconic ones. Like, how do you think you guys would do in like this sharp comparison between like the California Raisins and Tony the Tiger?
I can beat the shit out of the California Raisins. They're a bunch of silly pussies.
Would you do that? Martin, would you do that if you knew they were like conscious beings?
What, eat them?
Yeah.
No. Well, no, I'd probably eat one of them. But the other one, how many are there?
There's 3 of them.
Oh, I thought it was like every raisin in the lore is a California raisin. They all speak, so I'd buy like a 50-pack and just have like a raisin holocaust.
Well, no, there's only
genocide of the California raisin.
It's a racial, it's like racial appropriation.
There's 4 California raisins.
The ones that wear the sunglasses.
Yeah, there's 4 of them. One of them wears sunglasses. One of them looks like, well, they all kind of do look like Louis Armstrong, to be fair. But
you know, the album,
oh god,
the California Raisins vinyl album. I heard it from the grapevine. Made gold, made gold in the 1990s.
Did it actually?
Well, yeah, it did, yeah.
Sick.
And
There's 4 members, but only 2 voice actors.
Yes, and the label that produced that record, the next artist they took on was NWA, the rap group. It's crazy. Anyway,
They look like they look like shit with arms.
Hey, come on, it's rude.
They look disgusting.
They look like Thanos' ballsack.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I've got a list here, so... Okay, what about the red M&M looks kind of tough, but like the yellow M&M seems like a little brain damage, so I'm like positive.
Yeah.
I'm positive I could like crush his bones.
Yeah, but like you're not accounting for retard strength.
I think it's a hate crime to kill the yellow M&M.
Do you think he's got like that kind of strength?
I'm pretty sure he does. He always seems to come out of situations unscathed.
Do we know how big they are?
They're like 4 feet tall. I'm pretty
Jesus.
sure. I'll look it up. Eminem's height.
I reckon.
Eminem,
you can
Detroit
fuck with
rapper,
Eminem. All
50
you need is a
years
bit of
old.
peeing and you melt him.
Well, it depends on where you.
Melt the Eminem.
But like, no, this is like, I'd imagine the setup is like a street fight. You run into them on the street, and it's on site. Like you start fucking each other up on site.
Literally, the fucking Eminem's website has like things about their characters. Fucking Red, alright? Age. He says he's 30 something, but we're checking on it. Weight.
That's
perfect
weird.
Shell size.
Why would he not tell us his age? What has he been doing? Like,
I think he's just
How
trying to
heavy
get
are
them young candies out there.
yeah. How old's the green Eminem? Is she legal?
He has been molested by the California race.
Old enough to know better. That's what it says for her age.
So she's legal?
I guess so.
Okay.
The brown M&M, we didn't dare ask how old she is.
Oh yeah, that
All
one.
brown.
Yeah, that's like the
yeah,
sexy
the yellow
Eminem
M&M.
that people want to fuck for some reason.
Yeah.
Okay. So I feel like I'm crushing the yellow Eminem, but the red Eminem seems kind of like he's done this kind of thing before. So
The blue M&M seems like he's pretty chill.
I don't think he's in the conversation for a fight.
If you had a shovel or a hammer, though, they're fucked.
Well, no, you don't. This is the thing. It's on. It's on site.
It's all
What if
fist.
you just hit
That's what
them?
this is. Like,
Oh,
I think if you gave him a good boot, you could just crack their shell.
what about the orange M&M? I feel like
What
he's
no.
a coward, but I feel like he'd be unhinged.
but I offer you that. What if the shell is like the equivalent of bone for them?
I
How
think it
thick
is.
is it?
Well, think of it this way: like if you take a regular M&M, like how thick the shell is on that,
Yeah,
and
scale it up.
the size and the thickness of that,
Exactly.
until it gets to the size of what they are, like being like 4 feet tall. That must be like as thick as like a femur or something.
Yeah.
That must be pretty thick.
I tell you, who does not have a thick exoskeleton is Mr. Peanut. That guy's getting crushed.
He's already
Oh.
dead, though, isn't he?
I know, but like, let's not consider the lore here, boys.
Mr. Peanut the dog.
Mr. Peanut, Mr. Peanut, like
Mr.
the
Peanut, he's
Mr.
dog.
Peanut.
His dog dead.
He's dog.
He's dog. I heard you say dog and I fucking got fucked up. No, he's dead. He got killed, didn't he?
Yeah, but they brought him back.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
No, it's fucking. You have to murder him.
I
It
think
would feel right if you did.
I think you can get. I think he's.
Perfect opportunity to send this image.
I think he's getting crushed. Yeah, that guy is getting crushed.
Okay.
So we're beating Mr. Peanut. We're a little tossed on the M&Ms.
Tony the Tiger, I think
That guy's
definitely
no.
had a chance. He would kill me.
He'd take her. Yeah. What do you expect?
Like, not even in the sense because he's a tiger. I think it's just because he's just so manly that he would beat the shit out of
I
him.
know. Yeah, but you ever see the
He would
commercials?
bore you.
You ever see the ads on TV where he's like 7 feet tall?
Yeah.
That guy's ripping you apart.
Have you seen like
He
the
is
really
7 feet
gross
tall.
like costume of him? That like it's a straight up furry costume and it has really weird bedroom eyes.
You know the thing about furries is they have leverage over people now because anybody that like complains about wearing a mask is just admitting that a furry's stronger than you.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
I
Now,
think that like carbon monoxide bird. I think like he would definitely be able to throw down in a pub.
oh no, like he's not dangerous, like neutral, but if he's like had like say 3 pints of Guinness, he's
Yeah,
kind
if you
of
had some sauce in him, he's
Yeah.
fucking kill you.
he loses like all the morals and stuff. But then
He's
again,
like one of those,
birds are very brittle, so I don't care how big he is. If you can hit him hard enough, you'll probably fuck him up.
I think like his whole family would be deranged though, because like if you look at him and then like if you look at like his daughter, she seems like one of those mad ones who hangs around like Stephen's Green and fucking Central Bank all the time.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like
Oh,
The ones
here's
who get,
like
fucking
one.
their bones broken at a concert for fun, like that kind of people.
Yeah, I think I don't know how I would feel emotionally if you told me I have to fight Uncle Ben to death.
I swear to God, I swear to God,
Uncle what?
right now.
What, Martin? Calm down. What?
I swear to God, I was like, just gonna beat up Uncle Ben.
I don't know. I don't know how I'd feel about it.
I feel like Uncle Ben would just kind of like take the beating and then just give you like a bag of rice, like saying like it's okay,
A
son.
smug face.
It's not smug. It's wholesome.
No, it's not. Uncle, he's got your money at this stage. He doesn't care.
Okay, no. Okay,
What,
this is okay. So so the setup. Okay, so you bought a bag of Uncle Ben's rice, and say like the packaging was damaged, the rice didn't taste very good. It was really dry. Then you run into him on the street, and it's on site. Like you're taking that guy's lunch money.
You think he'd be like, oh, what's going on? Or he'd be like, oh, hell no, and he'd be like Compton Uncle Ben.
But is he gangster?
Like,
Is he?
Uncle Ben or is he Uncle Ben?
Is
Like,
he?
which one is
Yeah,
it?
is he gangster or is he kind of like calling you son?
Boy,
Boy,
where you going with that rice, boy?
Uncle Ben calls you over, makes you give him the rice, that's beating you over the head with it.
Yeah.
Puts the rice in a sock, starts hitting you with it old school.
what about Mr. Tato? But then again, you have to consider regular Mr. Tato and fucking tan Mr. Tato, fucking North Mr. Tato.
I'm ripping Mr. Tato apart.
I
He's not a
think
tip.
Republic of Ireland Mr. Tato, I would not be able to take on, but Northern Mr. Tato, I would absolutely fucking murder.
I don't think
There is a difference.
I don't think I'm struggling. The guy wears a
Like-
hat. I'm talking about anybody that wears a hat.
Okay, no, but like, all right, I'll show you the difference here, right?
Okay.
This man had, look at how wide he is. He's nothing but muscle. I think like he would 100% have like a strength advantage against you.
How big is he though? He doesn't look very big.
He's very big. He's very, very, very big.
Is
right?
he?
He's huge.
Are you giving me a fear of Mr. Potato or
Yes,
Mr. Tato?
look how
What
big he is. Look how big he is.
Okay. So in this photo, he's like 9 feet tall.
He's fucking huge.
Okay.
He's gigantic.
Okay,
Right?
maybe he's fucking me up.
Alright, so that Mr. Tato, I would not take my chances. But Northern Mr. Tato, Northern Ireland
Is there a
Mr.
difference?
Tato, he's very different. Yeah,
Oh.
I absolutely know for a fact I could kick his fucking teeth in.
Yeah, he's getting ripped apart.
He's just a potato.
Like, he has that orange man vibe about him.
Yeah. What
Like,
about
you know,
like, what about what's his name? The Burger King guy.
You mean the Burger King?
Oh yeah, because this is like an Uncle Ben thing, except like he's just a normal guy. Like, and maybe he's a king, but like he's not really a king of anything. What's he the king of?
Burgers.
Yes,
Burgers.
but what?
He's a Burger King.
Speaking of burgers and having a creepy, weird, solid plastic face.
Yes, but what land does he own?
Burger King.
Okay, no, you got me there. Okay, so he's very wealthy. He's very wealthy. He has a lot of land. He's a king, right? So he obviously has never been in a fight in his life.
Never had to be.
I know.
I mean, like,
This is why you're fucking him up.
Unless he wasn't the king before. He had to earn the right through combat.
because keep in mind, not only does he have the title of Burger King, but also in Australia he owns all of Hungry Jack's.
Does he?
Yes, he does. So he has plenty of land.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm putting that one in kind of like the fair fight thing where I don't know how it's gonna go because I don't know his background.
I'm certain he has armies and bodyguards.
No. This
Bunch of burgers.
thing is like one-on-one on site. You see each other, it's on.
Okay.
You versus that single person.
Yes, yeah, on their own.
Right. Well, what about the Dormio Granddad?
Are you kidding me? I'm pulling that guy's arms off.
He seems so pleasant.
Listen.
I don't know. I think he has. There's something about him and like his quiet lifestyle and his mustache that makes me think he has a shady past.
Yeah.
I think he's seen quite a lot of red liquid in his time, and I'm not just talking about the pasta sauce.
But like that dude, like, see, this is on site, so he's just gone to the store, and he's bought his Dalmio pasta to go home. Do they make it in the commercials? I don't remember. I thought they always bought it.
Where do they get it from?
I don't know, but this is like the hypothetical. This is like the hypothetical where you're on like Dorset Street, and he's walking up from Centra, and you're just coming from like the pub, and you see him, and it's just on site.
I think I'd rather take my chances with him than his fucking family, to be honest. Like,
Well, no, like I'm getting right up in his face, and then he's gonna say, "Oh, when's the ordo meal day?" and I'll rip his arms off.
No, but like he seems all right, but his fucking demonic children, I don't think I'd be able to put up with.
I don't know. Oh, okay. This is an interesting one. Okay, I'm gonna like switch it up a bit. So we talked about one-on-one. So the three of us versus Snap, Crackle, and Pop in a group match.
Is that good?
Martin, take the floor.
I don't see it getting very far. They're not very big. They're quite small, I'm pretty sure.
For the sake of conversation, let's put them at about 5 feet tall each.
I'm googling it. I'm googling the logistics here.
Because if it's 3-on-3, and we're like
they're all 80 years old.
Well, they don't look 80.
They're 80 years old.
They live in a tree. What do you expect?
I mean, well, you know, they're elves. They're all elves.
Yeah. So they can live for like, what, 1,000 years? It's the equivalent of being up a miner.
Yeah, I reckon we could fuck them up.
I think Crackle's probably the most dangerous because that probably refers to bones in a fight scenario.
I mean, they're only as big as a teaspoon.
No, but like in this situation, we're putting them at about 5 feet tall each.
Yeah, I still don't see them getting very far.
The three of us fight Snap, Crackle, and Pop. Group match.
Okay. I think we could take them on easily.
Yeah.
They don't seem very versed in combat.
Well, I think what we could do is like stun, if we stun one of them or knock over one of them, just bum rush the other two, and then we take our time with the last one. You know.
Make them all snap, crackle, and then pop.
Yeah, make his bones pop, and like pull his like limbs off and shit. Just send a message to the rest of the mascots.
This one might be a bit difficult, right? But because it's trying to decide who is the mascot, right? The devil from Colt Devil.
Okay.
Or the man himself.
Or the man
John Maguire.
Who?
John Maguire.
John Maguire. He's in every ad.
He's so like not awkward. He's just
clearly not supposed to be on a camera. He's just not made for it.
Oh, the Colt Devil! He talks through his throat and nose.
Yeah.
Call Colt Devil for one hell of a quote. We are the best. It feels like something somebody would make like when they're in secondary school as a piss tape.
Yeah, we're fucking him up.
I reckon he probably never graduated. He's
No.
still there.
Yeah. He's doing that from the LCA room, like.
He does have an LCA face to him, to be fair.
He does, yeah. Did I tell you guys about the time I was really tricked into doing LCA?
No.
Okay, so you get like they present that to you as an option in like 3rd year. So be 13-year-old me or 14-year-old me, and there's a dude in our year, we all know who he is, when this LCA thing got announced, I wasn't really paying attention to it because I was just going to do the year as normal. And then he starts talking to me about it, and he's like, "Oh, it's really great. You do all this stuff." And then I quote, he said, "Everybody's doing it." And I was like, I was like, well, if everybody's doing it, like, it must be, somewhat of a thing. And then, then I just happened to ask one of my friends later that day, and he was like, yeah, nobody's doing that. It's for fucking retards. And I was like, yeah, I'm not surprised.
And
Is
I
that
know
the
exactly who you're
Packers?
talking about.
Yeah.
The same person I met. I was picking someone up from a primary school, and he was down there too. I don't know who he's picking up because there's no children that I know of to take up. And it came up about drugs, and like for very, very hard drugs. And I said, oh, I've seen like there's lots of acid going around. And he leans in, and again, there's no one around us, but we are on the property of primary school. He leans in and he goes, "Sure, lad. Everybody's doing that." Like he was trying to sell it to me.
We all know this guy. Like, why is he? What? Why is it? It's like he's always trying to convince you of something, or he's trying to get you on board with something. What is he?
He's always trying to avoid me. Like he doesn't like me.
Yes, but we've all had encounters where, like that, he's trying to convince you of something, or he's trying to get you on board. Like, what does he want your time for, or what does he want you for?
Before he made it clear that he did not like me because I didn't fucking believe him when he started lying about random shit. He fucking asked me to come up to his place and hang out with him. And I was like, "Oh yeah, whatever, sure," because I was bored. And I get there. He gets on his fucking skateboard and he's like bringing me around to introduce me to his fucking mates. Like we're like 13, 14. He's like introduced me to his mates who are like 8 and 9.
Probably. How old would he be now?
They're like, "Whoa, you're so cool with your DC shoes, and your fucking skateboard."
Yeah, that dude's like, what, 23 now? And he probably still does that.
He's bald as fuck now.
Yeah, but he probably still does that.
We have to edit this out.
No, we haven't said a name.
He knows how to use the fucking internet.
Yeah. We haven't said a name, it's okay.
Okay, I saw him there when I was in town. I was getting my vaccination, my second vaccination, and I'm going past the crossroads, and I look across the road, and there he is. He has the haircut that stereotypical the monks have in fucking medieval fucking movies and shit.
Yeah.
He wears completely bald on top, but all around the sides and the back.
The Mr. Burns,
And it leads it's like a Mr. Burns haircut that leads into a chin strap beard.
Jesus. It's kind of it's kind of sad.
He's 23 and he's completely bald.
Okay, I think we'll move on from this because it's kind of an in joke and maybe we won't be.
I said commanded be watched.
Yeah. I had this concept. I see junkies and knackers every day, and I don't really think about anything when I see them. But I don't know why today I just had the concept for a WrestleMania with 30 knackers or junkies, and there's a briefcase hanging above the ring that has a €10 a mobile top up, and they all have to fight for it.
Even on mobiles.
Oh, they do, yeah. You tell them there's something good in there. You tell them it's pay safe in there.
Just say it's a fucking €10 worth of heroin, then they'll fucking beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, probably. I mean, could you?
If they ask you for money for anything, they're fucking lying. It's for heroin.
Could you just imagine that it's a George A. Romero movie where they're all really shambling and really slow, but then some of them are tweaked out and they're really fast and they're hitting each other over the head with chairs and stuff, real pro wrestling stuff. I think
that's from fucking crack and meth and shit.
I think there'd be a market for that. And
that's that's a completely different drug. That's American fucking junkies where they're fucking shaking and trembling and their mouths are covered in fucking white powder and they're scratching themselves and shit. Here we just have fucking zombies going around the place "We have to, my husband's in the hospital and he's waiting for me." That's the kind of fucking junkies.
Yeah.
So the only thing that will get them to sharpen up and beat the shit out of each other is by telling them, here, you're locked in here unless you get out. It's the only standing survivor. And if you win, you get this like bit of heroin. Then that'll motivate all of them to beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah. I had an encounter today with a knacker who had just walked into the shop and was empty. It was only me and my coworker, but she recognized him, and he went down to the back to the off license and he asked if he could take two cans of Bulmers out of a 4-pack. And she said, "I recognize you. You stole 2 cans from this shop last week. We're not serving you. Get out." And so I walk over there, and this dude is like denying it. He's like, "Oh no, it must have been someone who looked like me. It wasn't me," when it clearly was him. And he started trying to get smart with us, and he was like, okay, then like what cans did I try steal?" And we were like, "Bulmers." And he's like, "Oh, I don't drink cider." We're like, there's like a moment where we're like, "You just asked us for 2 cans of Bulmers from a 4-pack."
Curious, Liam.
Huh?
He's just curious.
Yeah.
He wants to know.
He didn't even like try to defend it. He just kept repeating, "I don't drink cider," and it was like, but you just said. And then he started like walking towards the exit. He was like, "Oh no, it must have been someone else. I'm no thief." And he like, walked out of the shop, and then he came running by. He came running by the entrance like 10 minutes later because he probably robbed Spar.
He's trying to help by getting inside the mind of the enemy.
He's doing research.
He's method acting by taking methadone.
Yeah. There was this I think
He's a methamphetamine actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, like it's very normal now. But there was a topic that me and Ryan used to talk about a lot. I'd say, Ryan, you'll enjoy this. But it's like fictional characters that I just don't respect. And we always like I still to this day get like violently angry when I see the Fox's Biscuits panda, Vinny, because that motherfucker like has the stones to sit there in the commercial on a chair eating biscuits and talking about like, "Oh, I enjoy my work." It's like, what work do you do? I've never seen you work. As far as I'm concerned, you just sit and eat biscuits all day and talk about how hard life is. Like, you don't have a job by the looks of this. Like, you don't. It doesn't look like he pays taxes. Probably doing tax evasion. So like, things like that just make me violently angry because it's like, how can you say you enjoy your work when you clearly don't do anything outside of sit in a chair? You know.
Violently angry over a fictional character.
I mean, like Liam, somebody's got to do it.
Maybe I'm just jealous.
Somebody's got to try the Fox's Biscuits and
Maybe.
advertise to the masses.
Maybe I'm just jealous it's not me.
You're just jealous. You're just hating on a man because he's successful. That's it.
Joe, who I also have like a huge issue with, and I talked about this in the shop today for maybe 40 minutes, is Garfield.
Garfield. Okay.
Like, if you... I don't throw this out at the floor afterwards, but like, he always talks about how he hates Mondays, but the dude does the same thing every day. He eats lasagna, he annoys John, and he pushes Odie off the table. The days aren't different to this guy. Why does he hate Monday? What bothers him so much that he would actively make it his why would he make it his catchphrase that, "Oh, I hate Mondays, you don't do anything on a Monday"?
I hate Mondays and I love lasagna. Like,
fuck off. You don't have a job.
Fuck Garfield.
Doesn't have the right to complain. You know?
Garfield fucking sucked. Like, he genuinely fucking sucked.
Why? What did he do to you?
Just his whole fucking presence.
His demeanor pisses me off. How could he be so lazy? He doesn't do anything.
His eyes that annoy me. I don't like his big, stupid fucking stoner eyes. I hate them.
Do you think he's on drugs?
I don't know. Like, his eyelids are like fucking, like a meter fucking long, and he's always like, I'm Garfield. Like, fuck Garfield. Like,
yeah.
John,
like,
where are the balls, John?
Like, why does he...
Like, the title of Garfield 2 Garfield 2, A Tale of Two Kiddies. I fucking hate that title.
There are things, yeah, there's a lot of things that make me like very angry just to look at. Garfield is definitely one of them because like if you think about how much John works to feed him lasagna every day, it's not cheap. It's not a cheap dish.
Fucking Italian food.
Yeah.
You should be feeding him fucking, that, like that shit that Subway pretends is fucking tuna. That's what fucking Garfield deserves to eat. But no, he gets high quality fucking
lasagna,
pasta, cheese, fucking bechamel sauce, fucking meat, tomato sauce. Like fuck Garfield.
Why does John put up with him? He's that annoying.
I think it's just fucking.
Sorry, Martin.
It's Stockholm syndrome at this point.
Sorry, Martin.
Yeah, but maybe it is Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
He wants Garfield to live a life of pain.
Yeah.
He's coaxing him in with nice food, so Garfield doesn't know what exactly is going on, but slowly he's dying of heart disease. His limbs are being crushed from underneath him. He can't possibly support all that weight. He doesn't know what's going on, but he has to put up with it.
It's the only way he can surely get Garfield to die. It's the quickest way he can kill him without it being considered animal abuse.
Yeah.
Garfield is
I'm
like.
unhappy because I eat, but I eat because I'm unhappy.
Yeah, like
Garfield's like dangerously overweight.
Garfield, he loves his lasagna, and then like he's like slowly killing his cat. It's just literally so the fucking the animal rights people don't fucking put him in prison for animal cruelty. Like the cat is loving it. The cat loves the fucking lasagna. So he's like, all right, I'll give him the lasagna, and it's killing him, slowly killing him, but it's getting him out of his life faster than it would be if he just fed him normal fucking kibble.
Yeah. Oh, John's probably fucked up.
He fucked up big time.
No, he's probably like fucked up. That dude has no life outside of his cat.
Yeah, like, I mean, he got that dog for a reason. He needed something to love him.
Yeah, that's kind of sad. I seen a video today on my Instagram feed, and it was like a dude standing in a field, and it's just like all nature, and it's like how did we get everything we have today purely from this? And I just started thinking like when civilization started, when like people first emerged, it's like all nature, and now we have microwaves. How do we get a microwave from like trees and rocks and grass? You know?
That motherfucker made Bluetooth.
Yeah, how?
This motherfucker playing Minecraft.
Who's the dude? Like, who is the guy who just sat down one day? Like, I always think when you think of anything, you always think of the dude who just sat down and go, "Yep, there you go. This is it. I just did this."
It's Bluetooth. A long lost relative of Blackbeard.
But even piracy, it was a dude who just goes, "Okay, I'm gonna take a boat. I'm gonna steal your things." Pirate now.
Stole Bluetooth.
Or like, who is the dude like when they accidentally make fire, and this guy's like eating something, and he goes, "I really wish this was hot right now, even though I don't know that it'll be good hot," and he burns it anyway. You know,
How did they figure that out?
well, I knew.
Like, everything had to be found out at one stage. So one person had to be like, okay, well, fire obviously hurts the outside, but maybe it works on the inside. They had to test absolutely everything. Every possible application for fire. Think, well, we don't feel good, but maybe the children are not. Nope. That doesn't work.
But like you've seen those like really old methods of like cooking food where there's like a thing of water in the ground and they put the food in and they put a lot of hot rocks in. Why did they think that was gonna work, and why did it work? Did they just?
They were just trying.
Literally just putting random shit into water and boiling it is like the earliest form of food.
Yeah, but like, how did they get the notion that doing that would make it better? What gave them that idea?
I mean, they used to bury shit underground because they thought it would keep it fresh.
Yeah, yeah.
They probably got cooked
Now,
once by
sometimes it works.
accident. They probably got like cooked once by accident, like fucking Grug, fucking Ugg and Bug were like there next to the fire, and they're like just trying to keep warm, and they're both very hungry, and they have nothing but fucking rocks and fucking plants to eat. and Grug steps on the fucking fire once he just oh like that, and fucking after putting it out, then like he like kisses his foot better, and then they realize, oh, that tastes pretty good, and then they realize cooking food is a thing.
They devoured Og.
They devoured Og.
But I think that would be such a great life to live as like an early caveman, right? Because your life from like day in day out is you walk around, you like hit a prehistoric animal with a rock, you draw it on a wall, you sit around a fire and possibly just hum or like make noises to each other until you go to sleep. You know,
Welcome to Arnold.
the next morning you go and you throw a stick at an elephant.
Who's
kind of-
the person who just decided that like fucking numbers and fucking letters should be a thing?
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Well, I suppose the communication might have been like strictly verbal at that point, but they had no way
Yeah.
to.
It's like, how did we get to here where we literally have things like the words, fucking clickety clack, I'm on my keyboard, or look at that freak, he has a foot fetish. Like, we have ways of fucking communicating in ways that no other animal can communicate. Every other animal is just solely through body language and going like at each other, like fucking apes, where they go like just making random noises, and they understand, okay, he's angry, he's upset, or he's happy. Like it's all emotional. We don't have like, we are the only animals that have context when it comes to communication.
But it is interesting. Like, when did they just start writing down shit or drawing shit on walls? Like, what was the reason? Like, did he want to show it to somebody else, or did he want to like? It's all for me to think about. Like, he was a caveman, you know.
They figured all that out, and then, you know, we get to this stage of civilization, and the Kardashians is a thing.
Do you think they had like
That's
their own
what-
version of that? Do you think there was things in that society that pissed them off that were just like irrelevant?
Well, like,
They
it's
do
the
it,
fucking
don't they?
caveman.
I don't know.
Cavemen Kardashians.
I don't know, but like as soon as they invented like knives and shit, they just start killing each other.
The Kardashians.
They're
I
rock
can
jobs.
imagine like the closest thing is like fucking like Neanderthal and fucking Homo erectus and Homo sapien like all coexisting with each other.
They started killing each other.
Yeah, but like they were all like, coexisting with each other for a while. They bred into each other as well. Until
Yeah.
eventually we ended up killing all the rest of them that were surviving.
Well, that's because like the Homo sapien women were more attracted to the Neanderthals because they're more masculine,
Yeah.
and now we have Germans.
What? Did I just hear fucking people like yelling?
I don't know. Did you?
I don't know if it's like on your end or fucking like
People.
I don't know.
Why would there be knackers outside your game?
I have no idea. And that's what it scared me.
As you know, who heard us chatting shit live.
He just shows up in his fucking emoji wrapped car.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, imagine that.
I'm going to Canada to show off to the 15-year-olds.
Kicking a 12-year-old up outside of McDonald's at midnight. Actually, probably doing it right now. Oh, I've been doing it. Like, I have a Romanian friend, and I'm always asking about like Romanian superstitions and stuff, and for whatever reason, I got onto this thing about watermelons. Okay. And I had this Romanian superstition thing in my head, and I was like, what if I could make one up? And I had the concept for Watermelon Man, who's this guy, because it's common in Romania to have a lot of watermelons, and there would be like people walking around with carts, and they would sell you watermelons, and it's like a popular food over there. So I was like, okay, I'll make up a myth about this, and so like Watermelon Man is a dude who goes around and like he'll offer you a watermelon through the window of your house, and if you buy it, okay, whatever, but if you don't, he'll like put a curse on you or something, because there's like a lot of curses over there. What do you think? Watermelon.
What, like, that's, like, it's your fucking idea of, like, a fucking,
Man.
like, a myth in Romania? Like, it's
Yeah,
like,
like Watermelon Man. And like he comes to your window and he's like, please, the priest, because they had like promiscuous priests over there that would like fuck married women. That's a real thing. And like he'd be like, please, the priest, he took my wife. Now I only have watermelon. And like he offers you the watermelon.
your hose.
Please, let me in your house and I give you watermelon. And
That's such an
Watermelon
abstract
is a fucking-
conclusion.
no. It's not a conclusion. It's like it's because if you don't buy the watermelon, he puts a curse on you. He says like no watermelons will grow on your family's land. But what he's basically implying is that you gotta buy the watermelons off him, which is like a bad marketing tactic. Then
What, real fuck your wife?
yeah, well, something. So that's a bit more crude because Watermelon Man at least isn't a bad person. He's just trying to sell his watermelons.
Like, from everything I've heard of him so far, it sounds like he's a fucking vampire.
No, he's not. No. He'll just stand at your window.
Curse on you. He fucking is trying to like get into your house because he needs to be invited in. Like that's how it sounds.
No, you don't want to invite Watermelon Man into your house. He stands at your window and he offers you a watermelon. It's very simple. You buy it or you don't. And if you don't, he puts a curse on you where nothing grows on your land. But it's clearly just a marketing scheme so that you can buy the watermelons off him. But then, like, he gets taken to, like, small claims. And then you get awarded, like, all of his watermelons. And he doesn't have any now. So he moves to Ireland and sells cigarettes out the back of a truck. So, you know, like, nobody's really, like, Romanian kids aren't really worried about him. So it's not really a well-known superstition. It's kind of a once-off thing. Yeah, like, I mean, it wasn't very good, but, you know,
Something Dark Souls NPC.
yeah, like, I mean,
You buy all of his wares, he shows up later in the game, he gives you something.
well, he doesn't give you anything. You take him to court because you're like, this guy, it's under threat of, like, threat of vandalism because you're like, this dude literally said if I don't buy a watermelon, he's gonna do something to my soil. And you get all, like, he doesn't have any money to pay you in, like, a settlement, so he just gives you all the watermelons. Now he has none. He's no longer a watermelon man. You know?
Oh, so if you're buying enough watermelon, you inherit the mantle.
Well, that's the okay. So that's the curse. If you somehow get all the watermelons off him, that's your life now. You have to go sell. You have to go sell these watermelons before they go bad. Otherwise, you've just taken on a bad business venture, and you're not going to get anything from it.
So that's the infinity melons, and you go mad with power.
Yeah, but like, he doesn't have much leverage. You can just sort of stand at your window and ask if you want a melon. He says like, please. Please.
Let me give you a watermelon. Please buy my watermelon.
But then like, okay, so he does all this, but like, what would he do if you just said okay? Like, what do you give him?
I didn't think I would get this far.
Yeah, no.
The only Romanian accent I can do is literally just fucking Dracula.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what Romanians sound like.
And everyone from Romania sounds like Bela Lugosi.
Probably. I mean, I went there. I don't remember what they sound like.
They all just wear dark cloaks and try.
Yeah, like I know like 5 Romanians here. I just can't picture what they sound. They sound like normal people. They don't have like a funny. They don't have like a funny accent you can do.
That's what they are. They're all funny little vampires.
Yeah, I know, but they don't have like a funny accent that you can imitate like Indian people.
They do. They go, come here. That's what they sound. They sound like fucking vampires.
Oh, so like the description you're like picturing of Romanians is like they're always trying to beckon you.
Yeah, they're always trying to beckon you, even though you're doing nothing. Like, come closer, like that's how they are. Like, I can just picture them always trying to like beckon somebody towards them, or like try to like trick somebody into inviting them inside their house.
Okay, so they're clearly not vampires. So like, what is the risk of inviting a Romanian into your house?
What
do they do?
They just stand around looking creepy.
Like,
well, like doing like weird Gary Oldman shit to your furniture, like fucking like waving their weird little fingers over it, like their shadow tips it over.
Yeah. Maybe. I've never.
Controlling all the lights in your house to fucking only go on their eyes to get that fellow to go so that.
They start a barbecue in your garden and invite like 30 other Romanians.
They go around the place destroying every mirror in your house.
Jesus.
Like they're not even vampires, but like they're acting like they are.
Yeah, maybe they do. You know what? Funny thing is like the state. Like you think of somewhere like Romania, it's like relatively normal. You might have Watermelon Man here or there, but like when you think about yes, when you think about like the world, it kind of seems kind of normal. But then you have China, which has like the credit score system where you like basically have to be a good citizen or else you're gone. And it's so fucked that like what they consider antisocial behavior, which will like lower your social credit score, which takes away like some privileges, is like basic things like watching TV too much or not having a job, or even I think even smoking or something like that too much is like an antisocial behavior thing. And then your credit score goes down and you can't like travel. Eventually when it gets too bad you can't get a job and stuff like that. It's like really crazy over there.
Okay,
Okay, you shoot.
I don't know what I was gonna say there. Fucking Jesus. Like you could like you say like Romanians like they're normal, like what is
we're going back to Romania.
Like what is normal really? Like every country has some weird fucking vibe to it.
Oh yeah, we've got Sinead O'Connor. It's kinda weird.
Child abuse, yeah.
Come on, it wasn't that bad. Like if you're talking like worldwide, it's not that bad.
True, very true.
You know, like could be Russia. Could be Madagascar. You know, they still put people in those they still put people in those like really old-fashioned jail things where you put your head and arms into a wooden thing and people throw like stones and tomatoes at you. It's still a thing they do over there.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was people on Madagascar.
Yeah, it's really fucked up over there.
I thought it was just the fucking lemurs.
No. I think you just watched the movie. Did you just watch the movie and think that's what it's like?
The movie lied to me. Madagascar lied to me.
Well, I regret.
When I think of the country Madagascar, I think of fucking penguins and fucking lemurs and lions and shit like that. Like that's what I think of.
I regret to inform you that the movie has probably lied to you.
So you're telling me they don't like to move it in Madagascar?
Probably
There's
not.
no way
You like
actively.
you like move it into a jail cell if you steal an apple. I thought about it actually.
Go to Madagascar, find the funny lemurs and like do the little dance to them, and then find like the tiny one that goes, "I love you, King," and then fucking.
Who is voiced by the Conan co-host, Andy Richter. Does the voice of that
Andy
character?
Richter?
Yeah, that's Andy Richter.
No fucking way.
Yeah, I shit you not. That's him.
More Madagascar. Alright, I'm looking this up. Holy shit! It's Andy Richter.
I've got like there's like a final bit that we can talk about maybe for 10 minutes if we're good with it. And it came to me at the start, but I kind of got distracted with a lot of other things. So we talked about like which mascots we could be in a fight, right?
Yeah.
So the three of us versus Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond, and James May. No.
Richard Hammond can't even remember his own name at this stage, so I think we have him in the bag.
Well, no, we have to pick because it is group versus group, but we're fighting them individually, so we have to pick who we're taking on.
Okay.
I think Ryan gets Ryan gets Jeremy, I get James, Martin gets Richard.
Why do I get Clarkson?
Because look at the photo at the top. Look at the photo, and like it's literally like it's like us.
Fuck, you're right.
Yeah. So you.
Also, if he punches you first, you get to sue.
Yeah.
It shows that.
It doesn't even have to be a fight.
Richard Hammond isn't hard to win against. The only thing you have to do is distract him with footage of his children being born, and he doesn't know who the fuck they are.
I like.
All you need to do.
See, I like.
Then you can have tag team somebody else.
You see, I like James May too much though. I don't think I want to hit him. You know, he's very wholesome.
James May is literally just you with dementia.
You know that's kind of true because like if I had like a lot of money, I'm probably gonna make like an audiobook about clocks, or I'm just gonna say cheese.
Go on fucking YouTube, making videos about making like fucking poverty sandwiches, like a fucking sugar sandwich.
What if? Yeah, like what if those three are just us and it's like Looper where they get like sent back after 30 years?
Oh no, that's a fate worse than death. We became British.
You see, I can see myself becoming a James May type.
Yeah, you already are. You already are a James May type.
Oh.
I'm like Jeremy Clarkson. I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
Actually, you are kind of like Clarkson. You are because the two of you because he's doing that new farm show thing. That reminds me of you.
Oh, I am Jeremy Clarkson.
Martin, how are you doing against Richard Hammond?
Richard Hammond. I reckon Richard Hammond would kill himself.
He's slipping a banana peel.
If I talk to him long enough, he'll forget to keep breathing.
Just have him try to remember his own wedding day and he'll get destroyed.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fight with me and May is gonna go. Because I think we're gonna start talking and we're gonna start like making sense to each other. We're gonna talk about like really weird things. And then we're just gonna club him on the back of the head when he's not looking. You know?
Oh, God. Like, you'll just be there with, like, James May, and, like, you'll punch him in the nose once. Then, like, you'll see, like, the red on his finger, and he's like, I remember making strawberry jam sandwiches. And you start going, oh, I remember that too. And then you start, like, talking about fucking jam sandwiches for, like, half an hour.
We talk about, like, jam sandwiches are, like, the best whiskeys. And then we just talk about, like... Because I've seen those three talk about monkeys as well, so it is like a similar thing.
Thing is, I think like Jeremy Clarkson's the only one who could probably fight.
You think so?
He's
very overweight.
He seems like the kind of man who would get into like a
Jeremy Clarkson is like the skinniest fat guy ever. Because his arms and legs are really normal, but then his body, like his stomach, comes out so far.
He's got that like.
What?
Have you ever seen Aliens Resurrection?
Yeah.
He looks like the newborn in that.
Jesus
Like a
Christ.
big gut and like really long, thin, skinny arms.
But he kind of like, he does look like a monkey. It's not even like a joke that they make.
His
Built like one.
knees to his hips are way too long, and like from his knees down to his feet aren't long enough.
Yeah, he's so strange looking.
They don't bend in the middle.
Do you think he's comfortable, like moving around and living?
Absolutely not. I think that's why he sounds the way he does.
Yeah, that's probably why he drinks so much too.
My legs are too thin for my fat body.
Today. Today, Jeremy gets 1 foot of intestines removed.
And Hammond tries to remember his own wedding day.
And James May fucking dies.
May has a stroke live on camera.
James May has a stroke while driving a boat.
Oh, God. Fucking Clarkson.
Yeah. And on that bombshell.
Welcome back to Bottom Gear.
Welcome back.
What? saw a dead baby at the Queen's face while masturbating, and Richard comes back from Syria and blows up a Tesco. And James sells his testicles on eBay to buy himself a Russian World War II era tank.
And honesty is Meghan Markle will respond to my text messages.
Jeremy.
I glue my testicles to my chin, James tattoos a cock onto a police forehead, and Richard rides a camel through a fertility clinic.
What, as they're getting older, it's slowly turning into Jackass?
I'm Dewey Knoxville, and this is the Holocaust.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, man. I'm Steve-O, and this is making your Hammond of memory loss.
I'm Steve-O, and this is having gay sex while you say the N-word. Yeah.
Tonight on Bottom Gear, Jeremy and James give Richard a lobotomy.
We successfully spread open. So we got Wee Man lubed up. I'm Steve-O, this is giving birth to Wee Man.
Jesus. There's a new Jackass movie coming out.
Yeah,
Jackass forever.
Yeah. I think they're way too fucking old.
I think that's why they wanted to do it.
This is killing your friend in a car crash.
Jesus Christ.
I'm Bam Margera, and this is alcoholism.
Have you seen in the comments for the Jackass Forever trailer, the one that Steve uploaded? The top comment is like, "Oh, pity Bam's never going to be in this." And someone says, "Yeah, I guess Johnny Knoxville won the crown for him."
Oof.
Bam is like, if you look at him now, he is turning into Phil. Like, he looks exactly like Phil now.
Phil.
Phil is an alcoholic.
He's just tatted up Phil.
Aw.
He looks like, not that Phil, but he looks like DSP.
Phil. Yeah, Phil Burnell.
Like DSP, yeah, Phil Burnell.
I wish DSP would host Top Gear. Can you imagine that? Like, on this episode of Top Gear, Phil does absolutely nothing because he has gout on his toes. Just sits in a chair.
I'd love like a Top Gear style show, but it's like fucking Doug Walker, Lynn Cara, and Angry Joe. This episode of Top Gear, we going.
On this episode of Top Gear.
Doug drives a green machine for the local, like some shit like that, like this stupid fucking.
On this episode of Top Gear, Doug drives a green machine through a car park while we record it. This will be an epic compilation.
This episode of Top Gear, Angry Joe gets mad at people for calling him out on his bullshit. I harass people and write fan fiction about my bully fucking him on. He actually did that, by the way.
Why?
I don't know. He wrote fan fiction about his like
Who did?
high school Lynn Cara.
Oh, that was nostalgic for me.
No, he
I
wrote fan
would
fiction.
not be surprised.
His bully fucking his math.
I really wouldn't be surprised.
Like Doug, like he used to be able to take shit a lot better. Like
Does
people
he?
make fun of him.
I don't know.
Somebody asked him about he plays, and he was like, "Hey, they made fun of my voice. It's really funny."
Doug Walker is a legitimate psychopath.
Yeah,
He's
dangerous.
psychopath, but he's able to take shit. Whereas like Lynn Cara, like fucking got in an argument with people on Twitter. Somebody like said like Cara on Twitter like Doug's streams do better than yours, so he like it was a complete nobody he's ever talked to once in his life, and he's like, actually, if you look at the numbers, I get 1,000 more views per stream than Doug. I'm better than Doug in every way.
Jesus Christ. Like every time I hear an impression of his voice or I hear his voice, I just think of the gif of him running down the street. It's like super poorly made and stuff. God damn.
I have like one Lynn Cara meme, and it's one that I made, and I'm not going to give context because I think it makes it better.
Ooh. Does anybody know what happened to Chris Chen?
He's still going. He's still going.
He's still going, doing the same shit.
Doing the same shit, saying that like the world is gonna merge with all fictional worlds.
Do people still watch his videos?
No, people have just slowly stopped giving a fuck because
It's kind of sad.
There are people who like will donate to him because they feel sorry for him.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Like,
I feel like that was one instance where internet bullying was taken too far. With the amount of like harassment he got, and then like fake accounts just to get close to him and stuff to get like details.
It all encourages like he never accepted help from anybody.
I suppose.
Yeah. He always was like trying to play the victim, even in situations where he was 100% in the wrong.
Yeah.
And he always just tried to. The world's so against me. Because I have autism. It's like, there's people out there with just as bad autism as him, and they're not fucking suffering the way he is. I mean, like, look at fucking Elon Musk and shit like that. He is 100% a spurred, man.
Oh, yeah.
You can't tell me that man, the man who thought it was a good idea to make a fucking Wario in court sketch, fucking isn't autistic. Like, there's no way.
How did they convince him to do that?
I think it was his idea.
How did like a group of people sit around a table and go, that's funny enough to be released?
I think it was his idea, and he had the money.
Oh yeah, I guess you can't really say no then, can you?
And then there's like, what else? Like fucking Jeff Bezos, like fucking firing himself into fucking space.
People lost their minds over that. It was like, chill, you can do what he wants.
Like, it's like, okay, my staff are not allowed to sit down during work. They are not allowed to have fucking breathing breaks.
They're not allowed to breathe.
Not allowed to breathe. They're not allowed to eat. They're not allowed to shit. They have to fucking do everything as I say. But I'm gonna spend like fucking $1 billion by going to space with my friends. In a fucking rocket shaped like a dick because he's straight up Dr. Evil.
Yeah, that was uncanny. And there was like no way that it needed to be designed like that.
It's 100%. He's just Dr. Evil. He's like Lex Luthor mixed with Dr. Evil.
It's like 100% intentional.
Like, even his laugh, like he has a very super villainy laugh.
He has a rich person's laugh. His laugh is wealthy.
Like he laughs like a fucking super villain.
He laughs like Santa Claus.
No, Santa Claus is like, like you said, joyous. That fucking Jeff Bezos is like a loud, like fucking. Think he's just got Superman finally in his trap. Like that's the way that he fucking laughs.
Yes, but who's ever gonna tell that dude you can't laugh that way?
No, because he has fucking robot arms and fucking laser beams.
He's literally like, what's his name? Lex Luthor, yeah. It's with this like anti-Superman message.
You ever seen him? Like, that's the thing, alright? Jeff Bezos looks like Lex Luthor. He owns Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon has funded 2 shows that show versions of Superman that should not be trusted. He is promoting anti-Superman propaganda. He is Lex Luthor.
Do you think he's developing a Superman, like an actual being?
Developing a Superman so he can fight him.
But do you think he's gonna like make him have like maybe 30 IQ points, or like make him and then hit him with a hammer or something? So he's like brain dead. Makes it really easy for him to fight.
It might already be a Superman, and he's just trying to make sure that we all hate him before we know where he is.
So we're all on Bezos' side.
Oh man, fucking Jeff Bezos.
I think on that note we're gonna call it quits.
Oh god. Jeff Bezos.
So this has been Chimps refocused, unfiltered, some other words, concentrated camp. Yeah, I mean that was fun. This was a lot more lax to do as well. This wasn't a lot of effort like the other episodes.
It was a lot more natural.
Yeah, there was less there was like no pauses in the conversation,
It was
and
just us talking shit.
yeah, it was pretty good. I feel like
Epic.
I feel like if I'm not lazy enough, we could do this more often.
That's good to me.
Martin disappeared, but I'm sure it's a solemn farewell from him.
I'm still here.
Oh,
Yeah.
sound like you're taking a shit,
I didn't say that.
but
You just hear a flop.
we can hear the echo. You're not in the same room.
You should say it.
Just admit it. Admit it, and we can all go home.
Our voices are helping him get it out.
Yeah, I think so.
Draining the poison.
I'm a nervous shitter, leave me alone.
And on that bombshell, we'll call it quits for tonight.